There we go. How you doing, guys? Anybody that's showing up, I appreciate you. I just need to get back on track here. Set up everything right from the beginning. Hmm. Let's see. We got one like. Thank you for liking. Thank you for being here. Anybody that does get the notifications, I appreciate you. I appreciate anybody that didn't get the notifications and searched me. Because I know that's pretty difficult to get the viewership. Let's see. With that. Subscribers only. All right. So we have 21 people in here. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Let me just get everything set up. Should be like maybe 3-4 minutes. Need to make sure I don't have any meetings scheduled anytime soon. We bullish and got in around 80. You're saying that you got in AMC around 80? Hopefully you did find a way to average down, because that would be great. Because if you average down from 80, then obviously. Enjoying the green look to start the day so far. Just feeling good right now. Yeah, I mean, it's feeling amazing. A lot of people informed me yesterday in my video how the way people looked at it. We had 4 green days in a row, and I understand that went to the next week. I really don't like to have any type of breaks. I consider, yes, you can look at it and say there's 4 green days in a row from the stock market, but I like to look at it as the current week. It's a new week. They treat it different. Yes, it's 4 green days in a row, but it's always great to see that week stand strong by itself. Do you know what I mean? It's way better to see that than it would be to just look at the last 4 or 5 or 6 previous days. I always like to look at the first or the last 5 days, as long as we see that it's within that week. Do you know what I mean? Like a full green week would be Monday to Friday, and then you would obviously look for the second green week, and then you would basically say we had 2 green weeks in a row, rather than splitting it across multiple days. So yeah, I think it's good that we have these days going on the way that they are. Right now, we're up 0.65% on AMC, up to $37.40. So we're not sitting in a bad spot at all. Somebody asked me yesterday, would it be a surprise, or would I be surprised if it got up to 38 or 39, I think it was, or 37 or $38? And obviously we got up to that point. I was surprised to see multiple green days in a row. So, obviously we've seen that on Thursday and Friday, but I wasn't live on Thursday and Friday. Am I still holding ZOM? Yes, I'm still holding ZOM. No, Quant, sorry, message got cut off. Okay, you had Quant, you were holding from $80. Yeah, I'm still holding 2, and I'm bullish on it, waiting for that to make a move. I have some other ones that I'm still bullish on, but ICP has dropped a bit from what I was seeing for my cryptocurrency. Let's look at it. So I'm down to $18,000. I still do have about $3,000 in reserve to put into some other positions. I'm waiting for Dogecoin to come back down. It's looking like it's pulling down a little bit. I don't know if it will come back down to the previous levels that it was at, but that's what I'm looking for. So I know that everything that I had, all of these right here, Anchor, Gitcoin, Ethereum Classic, Compound, all of these were over $1,000 right here. And now we're sitting below $1,000 because we did come back a little bit. So Harvest Coin is still standing strong actually, because I bought more at 250 and now it's up to 265. So it has been making a little bit of a move. That's a good thing. Internet Computer though, that's what I seen as a decrease. That fell from the 4,000 mark for me down to 2,800. So that lost about 1,000 some odd dollars. But still holding strong, and I'm looking for that to come back so I can own about 100. I would love to own 100 of Internet Computer, but that's only if it comes down far enough. I mean, right now it's still good. I'm not upset about that. I want to hold about 25 of Harvest Finance. I already hold the amount that I want to hold of Clover, holding 1,000. Litecoin, I would like to hold a little bit more of that. Maybe a couple more. You know, maybe like 2 more to get me to an even 10. Cardano, I think I would like to hold probably 1,000 in total, and we'll see how that plays out. I'll probably buy some more soon. $500 would get me another 250 coins, right? $1,000 will get me another 500 coins. All right, let's go back to AMC. Yeah, I was looking at the last couple of days, so let's look at a month. And you look at the last couple of days, and we've had a number of green days. It just looks really, really good. You know, we had this movement, consolidation, movement, consolidation, movement, consolidation, movement, consolidation, a large movement, a little bit of a pullback, and consolidation as well. Are we going to see that continuation? Even though we've seen that break over this level, are we going to see that continuation up there and find a way to break 40? Because that's what we need. We need to break 40. After seeing it dip down to 28, increase all the way up to 38, and then decrease down to 29 again, we need to see that break 40. That's what we want. Let's see. What are they saying? What do you think Bitcoin is going to do? Today, Bitcoin looks like it's positive, but ultimately, I think Bitcoin is going to get to, if you haven't seen my video that I put out recently about coins that are going to 100K, I think Bitcoin eventually will get to 100K. I'm starting to get more and more bullish on it because a lot of businesses are going to start to adopt it more. So looking at that, I see it as a strong case to, get to 100K. But in the short term, it's probably going to be somewhere we're going to see that hit 50 and 60, resist a little bit, and then start to make its move and hopefully break 70. That's what we're looking for sometime soon. Curious on your thoughts on quant. No quant. Sorry, message got cut off. What? I think quant is good. I'm bullish on quant. I like with their supply, they have a lowish supply, not a crazy high supply. It's not the lowest supply possible, but it is a low supply, and it looks like it's very popular. So obviously I have 2 quant, and I'm looking for that to make some large moves. But it's going to take some time, as long as once it gets all of its popularity and people start really like getting into it and buying it, then we'll see that movement. But we also have to see the hold time, the typical hold time, go up. I don't know if my Coinbase is actually working. It wasn't working this morning. My Coinbase Pro is working, but Coinbase wasn't really working for me. So I have $3 in here now because I took everything out of Coinbase and put it in Coinbase Pro. So it sucks how it's not like together. You know what I mean? I have to keep transferring it back and forth. Coinbase Pro, the fees are just so low. Quant is making a move though. Oh, there we go. It's working. Quant was making a move. It was up 17% in the last 24 hours. So it definitely is making a move. Hit a high of 189. That's not bad at all. In about a month, you've seen a high of 197. In a year, you've seen that high. I think that's, the 197 that it hit. So yeah, it would have been amazing to get in here at $11, $12, something like that. But I'm in it with two. Um, I think it was at 130, 140 or something like that. And once we see the popularity the whole time go up, so the popularity is 31 most held, and the hold time is 8 days. I mean, we just need that hold time to go up, and then you'll see the price go up. Because if people are holding it, then it's obviously a better situation. All right, let's go back home. Uh, Enjoying the green look to start today. I just read that. AMC is at 36.16. What? It's at 37.45. 12.79. 37.16. AMC has jumped a little since yesterday morning. You think Bitcoin going down? I mean, yesterday we didn't really have the best day for crypto because crypto did decrease, across the board. We might see a positive day in crypto. It looks like it's half and half, really. Bitcoin's making a slight move, but starting to come back. Litecoin's making a slight move, starting to come back a little bit. It's 0.28%, so not even at a 1 or 2% or so. So do I think Bitcoin's going to come back? Possibly. Not all the way back down to the lower levels, if that's what you're thinking. Like, oh, should I get out now type of thing and buy back in low? I don't think it's going to get back down to where it was, like $28,000. But I don't believe that it will break below 40. So even if it does decrease, it's not going to break below that mark. But that still is $5,000. What do you think about? Oh, I just moved it. Your outlook on Tilray today. I really don't have anything on any of the cannabis positions right now. Tilray is up 8%. That's phenomenal that it is up 8%. It was flat yesterday. It closed flat yesterday, and it's up 8%, up to $14.18. That's a good move. Just know that if you're looking to invest right now, you're looking to break one of these levels. And if you are going to break one of those levels, I mean, you're pretty much halfway there. So it could pull back, basically resisting at this point, this form of consolidation here. So just be aware of that because the pre-market, the after-hours market looks amazing, but you could also see a very quick pullback. With any large increase, you do see a decrease as well. So ZOM. I love ZOM. I'm still invested in ZOM. Let me just check something. Yeah, I'm still invested in ZOM here. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah. I'm still invested in ZOM here. Let me type this in. And it is increasing today. And I should probably put more into it just because it is at these lows. And basically get more as I'm starting to make my moves. Treat it like an index fund or some sort of mutual fund and average down and just hold on to it and let it grow. ZOM is one of those tricky ones. I mean, it's being heavily shorted, right? Every single day you see it shorted, 40%, 30, 40% or so, sometimes 50%. And the percentage or short interest percentage of free float is actually increasing quite a bit. It's now, I think, at like 10% or so. It might even have increased to 11%. But they're definitely shorting this thing. And I'm just holding on, waiting for one, them to give up, and two, the buying power to get into it. Because once you see a lot of people start to buy into it, that's where you start to see it skyrocket. So I think that's going to happen when we get closer and closer to AMC actually taking off. So that's what I'm waiting for. holding money in ZOM, holding money in AMC, and waiting for both of them to, skyrocket. I think crypto is going to mainly consolidate today. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I would agree with you. I haven't really deeply checked into or thoroughly checked into cryptocurrency. I've just been watching from afar. You could see that Dogecoin is down 1%, Ethereum Classic is down 1%. So consolidation, I would consider, within that 1% positive, or sorry, 2% positive and 2% negative, like that form of consolidation there. And you'll basically see that today. You might see some that end up increasing quite a bit, like Quant was up 17%. But when you look at overall crypto, you're right. Hey Matt, some YouTubers are saying AMC will squeeze pre-market. Any thoughts? I think AMC will squeeze in the after hours market / pre-market. So I think after hours market, you're going to see it squeeze, make a huge move, and then you're also going to see it jump in the pre-market. Then when you see it jump in the pre-market, it's going to pull back close to the middle of that pre-market. Once it hits its peak point, like it's done, previously, AMC, GME, everything has done previously. Once it hits its peak point in the pre-market, that's when you're going to start to see it fall off, because towards the open, you're going to see it start to really come back. So yes, I think that's true. The ultimate squeeze, the peak point of that squeeze, the tippy top, will be in the pre-market. I don't think Doge will go lower than 28 cents. That is a strong support. Yeah, I think there definitely is a strong support. Just know that strong supports don't hold well with crypto. We've seen things come back from like massive support lines. Like I believe that 20 and 19 was a strong support. I think 19 was a strong support. Had multiple touch points and then just broke below it. It just happens. I mean, yes, you do want to look at it as a strong support line and have confidence that it's not going to break below there. But I've seen things. I could say that Bitcoin is not going to break below 40, and then it ends up breaking the 39. I mean, it just does it. Like support levels don't really hold well, but I guess prices like slightly below or slightly above the support and resistance levels end up becoming a factor, which doesn't make sense to me. Instead of it resisting at 19, it'll resist at 18.5, with no other, touch points, no other sign of support, or whatever, you know what I mean? But yes, I know what you mean. It is a strong support. I can't keep up with the weather yesterday. It was 90. Now it feels like I'm at the beach. What the heck? Yesterday it was supposed to rain a lot. It was supposed to thunderstorm throughout golfing, and it did nothing. It was just it like rained a little bit as we were on the first tee, but then after that, it was fine. Crypto in NYC is very limited. Yeah, I know that. Yo, what's going on? I own all consoles. Did you get to play the new Zombies map yet? Yeah, I did play the new Zombies map. I've been playing Black Panther, the Marvel's Avengers, Black Panther, and I'm going to upload that on my gaming channel. I just have too many channels to keep up with, but I'm uploading it now. Love your transparency. No problem. Yeah, I mean, I try and be as transparent as possible just for, everybody. And what I plan on doing with my investments and my trading and all that stuff. So hopefully they don't take Zom behind the barn and kill it. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm afraid of is delisting. With stocks like that, you can get something and it can be delisted, and then you have to worry about actually offing that to someone else for a like cheaper price, so you don't lose out on everything. But this is the game you play, right? I mean, yes, it is an investment, and you treat it like an investment, but um, this is the game you play. You have to trade with things you're comfortable with losing, because anything could happen. Anything. You could say, "Oh, this is going to be the best stock in the world," but anything could happen. We don't take Zom. Oh, I just read that. Uh, PLTR said they are accepting Bitcoin. Yeah, so like I said, a bunch of companies are looking to accept Bitcoin, and when they are making these announcements, it's giving Bitcoin a lot of press, a lot of popularity, even though it's already had some, and also pushing that along to altcoins. The thought of them of Amazon and AMC accepting Cardano or whatever would be great. You know. Uh, can you explain institutional ownership and why it was 3.3 billion yesterday and now 1.1 billion on MarketBeat? Thanks. 1.1 billion for AMC. AMC it should be sitting at about 20, I think 20 to 28%. So I don't know what you're talking about there. Um, yeah, the institutional ownership for the shares is 157 million. Yeah, 157 million shares. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about there. If you're talking about total institutional ownership across the stock market, then that's a little weird. That means that, they may have liquidated a lot of their assets. And the crazy thing is, if they do these large moves, say if they had 3.3 billion, right, and now it's 1.1 billion. If we did see a lot of negativity in the market, or we have seen a lot of negativity in the market in the past however many days, we could have seen trading in the dark pool, right? Because a lot of times they'll make these trades in the dark pool and they don't really have to report it right away, right? So if they're gonna do that, then it could take a while for everything to get reported. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I would go with if you're talking about overall institutional ownership. Been reading a lot about Harvest Finance since your video mentioned it seems like an interesting investment. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, you just look at the potential before you even get into any use case behind it. Um, it's just insane. And I have other ones that I'm looking to get into at other levels, but like this is where you start to really look at some of them and you go, wow, if I would have gotten in just, in the beginning of this month, it could have been huge for me. Something like let's go ahead and type this in. And I talked about this previously, and this is something that's on my radar, is socks. Socks recently got up to $200,000 per coin. Now this is a potential, like this is a potential play. It's at 302 circulation. That's it. And it got to recently, it was just at 133 yesterday, but it was at $200,000 like recently, and was previously at like 28, 29, 27. And even in January of 2021, it was at $4,844. So this is what I'm talking about. Potential plays like this, where you put maybe $5,000 into it, or put $20,000 into it, or even at this point, you can see it at I don't know, maybe $10,000. You can put in $10,000. Don't even have to buy a full coin, and see that grow to $200,000 and literally grow your account by a hell of a lot. You know what I mean? Like, these are the type of plays that you can play and, maybe have something a little bit risky if you're making money elsewhere. And this is what I'm looking for. If I can see this come down to some of these levels of, 29, 27, whatever, then I'm fully making a move. This is something that's in my, on my watch list. And I think it's going to be huge, but that's one. And then the same thing with Farm Coin, only has 600,000, in supply. And if you're looking for something that has 600,000 in supply, that has the full capability of going, to thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, if not $100,000 per coin. So I'm sitting on it, waiting for that to make a huge move, and I think it will. So that's just me. And I mean, I could end up getting to a point to where it would resist, maybe pull out a little bit. And then when it does go lower, I can put more back in. So ultimately, I think I want to have 25. So if I can use the same money that I have here and not put in more money, do you know what I mean? I can basically sell some at the top and put it in at the bottom. So if it gets up to 350, I'm going to take out maybe 2 coins and then put that back in at a low point, maybe 250 or so. And that'll get me probably another like 0.7 coins. Do you know what I mean? So that's my plan for Harvest Finance. I'm not going to add any more money to it, but I am going to play it strategically. I'm going to find those support and resistance levels, and I'm going to play it strategically. Right now, AMC is up 0.59%, about 0.5%, up 22 cents. And GME is actually down 0.28%, down about 45 cents. Sam Blow, thank you for becoming a member, or I guess renewing your membership. I appreciate that. Sam has been beaten into the grave. Don't even look at my position anymore. Yeah, that's what you need. That's what you need to do. Never really had time to play PC games anymore. Just I got into Zomboid. Interesting game. I'll have to check it out. I try and make some time to play games, but I really only can play like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Maybe 2 days a week. I hope that I can play a little bit more, but with all the things that I do, it's just so difficult. The problem is, do you get taxed when you use crypto? Do you get taxed when you use crypto? You get taxed when you sell your crypto. Yes, as long as you report it. There are people that don't report it. Yeah, you get taxed on your profits. You say make 600K in AMC and then beat all, but all the other stocks in what? I thought all the other another stock and lose it at the end. Breaking even. Do you taxes end up washing, or does Uncle Sam get you still, even though your gains are gone? I guess it depends. It depends. Taxes are very difficult when you make quick trades. They start to be more difficult, and you rely on the investing platform in order to do that. But most likely, if you have a large, like if you make money, you make $60,000 and you lose $60,000, most likely you won't be taxed on all of those gains, because the overall gain that you would have is netting zero. So I believe you shouldn't be taxed on it. But like I said, it gets tricky when you have quick trades. Where I caught VRPX at $7 and sold it at 18, 1,000 shares strong. Made me feel a bit better about Zom. I did sweat bullets though, because the volatility was crazy. Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, that you made some money on that, because you more than doubled. That's awesome. And it's good that it made you feel better about Zom, because Zom is just not making moves. But if we keep buying at the lows, I think it could be pretty big. Like I said, I'm comfortable with losing a total of $10,000 on Zom if that ends up happening. Now, I don't think that I'll lose it. I think that I'll end up gaining it. It's just it's taking a little too long to gain the $3,000 that I wanted to gain, or $7,000 that I wanted to gain. But I know it'll be well worth it, especially seeing a lot of other people that were able to average down and buy more at lower levels, and can basically gain $10,000, $20,000 from a play like this. Here reports their gains on crypto slash stock gain. I don't know what that is. Do I have a? I don't have a meeting. I just checked it. Oh, okay. More an all great day every day. Yes, absolutely. All right, so we have 176 people in the live stream. If you guys could hit the like button, help me out, get me to 100 likes. That would be great. I'm gonna play an ad right here. If you get an ad, then you get an ad. If you don't, you don't. But I appreciate you guys for being here. So it looks like this is just a beautiful channel right here. Beautiful, picture perfect channel. A rip by consolidation, a rip, then consolidation, a rip, then consolidation. It just looks really good. Do you think the overall market will bounce back today, or do you think Afghanistan news will drag it down all week? I actually haven't looked at the overall markets, to tell you the truth. And I haven't even heard about the news. I swear I don't have time to look into news. I look into trades, and that's it. And sometimes I care about what the market is doing, but most times I care about, just what individual stocks I pick are doing. So I don't know how to answer that question. I would say, yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. Does OEG have any long-term potential? Let's not look at account. Let's cancel that. OEG. Come on. Does this have any long-term potential? A lot of things do have long-term potential. It depends when you actually buy into it. So right now you could see that it's up about 3% today. It was down 2% yesterday. So let's see what's happening here. Let's look at a month out. We can see that I did have a pretty strong downward moving channels here after actually jumping above some of these high points. Yeah, I would say in the day, jumping above some of these high points is definitely a good sign. The only thing is, let me look at the 10,000 foot view. Does it have any long-term potential? The issue with this, the issue that I see here, is that we're only seeing one big jump. We don't really see any type of solid upward movement. Like, this is aggressive upward movement followed by an aggressive downward pull. The fact that we've seen a little bit of consolidation here is definitely a great sign, but it wasn't a complete pullback, which is something that you typically see when you see a large rip like that from $1 all the way up to $11. But the consolidation showed that it did have strength there, but that might have just been like FOMO strength, if that makes sense. So the way that this pulled back makes a lot of sense. It would have given me a strong thought to say, no, this is not going to have any long-term potential if this would have just dropped right from the start. But the fact that it is dropping and did have a firm gap up above other, resistance levels is a strong point to me. The only thing is, now you want to wait to see when it hits its low point, which this might be a double touch point to actually see an increase here. You might be seeing its low, and I think it actually has, let's say, short-term potential rather than long-term potential. Long-term potential includes news and, all types of things that give the company potential to grow. But I generally don't care about that. For a company that doesn't offer a dividend, I don't care about that at all, because I care about getting something from a company plus seeing the growth. So I would say it has short-term potential. It looks like this might be a point to where it is going to have a support and bounce off of that. So maybe a little bit lower than where it is. This low was at $2.86, and right now it's at $3.60. This low point was $2.93, so very close to the $2.86 that we were at previously, showing that we could have a bounce, and we are seeing a current bounce here to $3.06. So I would probably, if either you can wait for confirmation, buy into the position, and see that growth up to a level of maybe $4 or $5 or so. See that resistance from up there, or it could come back and basically you just set up your stop loss if it does end up breaking below this support level. So that would be my opinion. If I was to increase my PC playing time, I would have to risk what type of cleanup awaits from the kids. It's all about risk versus reward. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, I treat it as everything's really a business. Everything's a form of monetization. So I have my gaming channel. I put it on Twitch. So yeah, everything's a form of monetization. So one, I can write off the purchases of the Xbox Series X and the PS5 as a business expense, because it is. But two, obviously you can just make money off of playing video games as well. So especially something that I enjoy. I would love to just do everything, but it's so tough. I need an editor, I'll tell you that. Because if I did have an editor that can edit and post videos, I think across all of my channels, I think that I would have more consistency, recording it and getting it posted. So maybe I'll contact somebody in my area and get an editor or something, because some of the videos need editing. My main videos that I do live streams and all of that, they don't really need editing at all. So yeah. Have you averaged down on Zom? I have not. I have not. I probably should have, because I could have bought 1,000. Or I could have bought $1,000 worth, which would have been somewhere around 2,000 shares extra, which would average down. Or I could have bought another $4,000 worth, or 2,000, 3,000, whatever dollars worth, and basically double the amount of, not double the amount of dollars, but double the amount of shares that I would dollars, if that makes sense. So if I had $4,000, it would be 8,000 shares. And right now I have 7,000 shares. I'm just sitting on 7,000 at 90 cents. And hoping to see a larger increase. I mean, yes, if I would average down and, get 7,000 more shares, I could bring that cost basis down halfway between 90 and 45, and that would be great to bring that down so far. But, I'm putting money elsewhere, and I said I'm comfortable with losing about $10,000, which would be adding on another $4,000. But I don't have an extra $4,000 to put in there. I mean, all of it's going into cryptocurrency. So last week, my cousin who's in high school texted me and asked, making fun of me for still being in AMC. He's in a stock class and knows everything. So I put another 1K at $29 $8.91. Aged like fine wine. Yeah, I know. Some people, I talk to people about AMC, and some people don't even know about what's going on. And I'll tell them about what's happening and what the price is and all of that. And they'll look into it and they go, the fundamentals are not there. And I'm like, I understand the fundamentals are not there, but you need to understand the situation at hand. Uh, you know, there's a lot of shorts that are out there. There's a lot of people that are holding the position. It's just continued like negativity that they're pushing on to this position. And um, after I explain it to them, they're like, well, I'll see what happens. Maybe I'll put a couple $100 or $1,000 there. And I'm like, that's hey, that's all you need to do. If you feel like that will gain you a lot, it will gain you a lot. But I know it's going to into the thousands sometime soon, whether it happens a year from now or it happens 2 months from now. Not sure if you checked Soul, but would you think it's worth chasing? I haven't checked it recently. Let's see what's going on with Soul. Because, like Solana, is that what we're. Yeah. Do I think it's worth chasing? No. At this point, I believe and this is definitely just my opinion. I believe that this is going to come back. A lot of people may have a price point of $100, and I believe this is going to come back to somewhere around that. Come back maybe somewhere around $80 or so. You're going to see a pullback. One of these days, you're going to see that hard pullback to where it can't hold it. Because right now, this is why it's actually staying around that 75, 76-ish, dollar mark, because people are buying and chasing it. And some people are selling at some of these high points, knowing that $100 is definitely a key point for a lot of cryptocurrency. Anytime I see some of those levels, I always think, okay, $70 or $80 is probably the point to, pull out of a lot of the position, not all of it. You don't have to pull out of every single bit of it, but know that that might pull back. If it does continue to run, then you have skin in the game. If it doesn't continue to run, then you can basically get in at some of these lows. So, but if you're looking to chase it right now, I wouldn't. I mean, you could do it and then average down if you wanted to, but I know that that's what's going to happen. And I love seeing the growth. I would love to see this go to 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000, whatever. But I think with people trading, it's just not realistic. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just my opinion. And my opinion could go a long way or it doesn't. And you don't have to take it as the truth. It's just the way that I feel. A lot of it is speculation. So if it is speculation, then I may not be right. Other people might be right. And, it just happens. Can we see updated Ortex numbers? Yeah, we can. So the Ortex numbers right now, we're looking at shares on loan at 105 or 106 million, utilization at 90.49. We also have short interest percentage of free float at 18.07%, which is about 92 million shares. Yesterday, it looks like they returned a lot of shares, more than they borrowed. They borrowed about 3 million in total. I remember seeing that. 2 million of that came from the pre-market. So we'll see how that plays out, but that's what it's looking like. We can also look at the Finto numbers from yesterday. They shorted about 25.5 million shares. And that the total FINRA volume was around 54 million. Talk GME. GME is the way that I look at GME is I see exactly what's going on with GameStop. I haven't checked any like positive news, but I don't know how much positive news really matters. I know people were saying that the fact that they're not in the news as much as AMC means that GME is not going to squeeze. That's not true. GME is going to make a large move. They are shorting this a hefty amount. It's just they have, I think, more stock in AMC. But GME currently sitting at down 0.06%, doesn't really move that much, which is kind of crazy because they have less shares outstanding, less of a free float. When you have less shares, obviously you have more volatility, more people that are, getting in and out of that position. However, it looks like people are holding GME a lot more. I understand that people are holding AMC a lot, but they're holding GME a lot more. You have less day traders and swing traders going into GME, and you have more that are in AMC just because of the volatility. Anytime you see volatility, that's not even AMC. Every time you see volatility, you're going to have people that go into or that trade into this day trade, swing trade, and all of that stuff. So GME, I'm waiting for probably a resistance point. What the hell, man? Why is this the thing? I need to turn this freaking volume down. I'm tired of this. But GME right now, I mean, the volume just hasn't been there. And eventually we will see it, but the volume hasn't been there for a while. Let's look at the Ortex data for GME here. Let me duplicate this and just type in GME. Okay. So the short interest to free float for GME is around 10.71%, which is around 6.46 million. Shares on loan is around 6.95 million shares. Utilization is at 39. So let's also look at the average shorts that they're taking out per day. Let me just copy this, duplicate this, bring this over here. Just trying to organize this a little bit better. And just type in GME. And let's see what's happening here. So it looks like they're shorting about 40 to 50% every day for GME. It's just not moving as much. I don't think they're shorting it as much. I think it's just standing strong, and AMC is really playing catch up in the time being. So still bullish on GME, still waiting for that large move. I don't think that GME will squeeze as high as AMC, and this, I don't think it's any type of bias. I just know that, with a lower price and more shorts that are going into it, it's probably going to end up squeezing a little bit higher. The only thing that does factor into a higher price for me, that could be a possibility of GME end up squeezing to a high number, is the amount of shares outstanding. With only 70 million shares outstanding, 55 of a free float, that's really low, and the movement could be insanely high with the amount of volume that could go through it. Do you know what I mean? So it could go to 1,000, 10,000 a lot quicker than what AMC can go to 1,000 or 10,000. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Kriegs. How you doing? GME is king. Thoughts on SoFi? I don't really have any thoughts on SoFi, but maybe I'll check it out. Right now it's at 2%. I'm going to do a quick one because I do need to get through some other stuff. Your whole analysis currently holds for ETC. Yeah, I'll get into that. So SoFi right now is at 1.9%, about 2% up, about 27 cents. It's up to $14.02. You could see the movement here, and it's closer to some of these lows. And as it is closer to some of these lows, you could expect maybe a little bit of a breakout and probably a resist somewhere around 24. That could be a possibility as you're looking at a lot of this data. Now, it doesn't have a ton of history, but it is going to tell you that you have a large increase, and this is all based on, this increase is really based on the first like pre-squeeze, I guess, let's call it that, or a large increase of GME. It wasn't the squeeze. It would have been a squeeze if they would have let it go. But you could see that it did come back and then ended up pushing back up somewhere in the beginning of June, and resisting again at that point. So we could be in for another, breakout here. And where we're standing right now at some of these lows, you might end up seeing it. Yeah, you might end up seeing it bounce off of this, which I believe that's what we did see. We saw a 3.7% decrease, and we might be ready to see a bounce from here to increase to some of these other support levels or some of these other resistant levels. So on your farm video, what about my farm video? I'm trying to see if you said anything else. Oh, well, I went and mentioned another coin that went from 50 to 150K overnight. And I think I crossed community guidelines. Just wanted to apologize for that. My bad. On your farm video, I didn't see it. What was the coin called? Why would you cross community guidelines? So how about that Solana and Luna? Solana looks good. Solana looks really good. Just like I said, understand that a lot of these levels you will get to the point where everybody wants to end up making a move is $100. So a lot of times they will pull back somewhere around 80, 70 to 80. You'll see it pull back. That came true with Dogecoin. That came true with AMC. It's just a point to where people see it and they go, oh, you know what? It's close to 100. Other people are probably going to make this move. So let me go ahead and get out of this position now. So it comes true more often than not. So when you see something like Solana right now, it's holding, it looks like it's holding between like 70 and 76 or something like that. But just know that that may be a point to where you might want to take out some just in case, and then put that same amount that you took out and put it into it at its lows. Now, if it does run, you still have skin in the game. If it doesn't run, then you can, buy more at the lows. That's what I'm thinking. But that's my opinion. And someone else said that my analysis on Sol is holding up for ETC because ETC, I guess, resisted at like that 80 mark. Yeah, ETC ended up getting up to 77, resisted, and fell all the way back down to a low of 59. So that's huge. If you would have taken maybe a portion out at 77, put it in at the low of 59, you would have been good. Now, did I do that? No, I didn't do that because I hold 14 ETC. To tell you the truth, I didn't even see it. It was at, what time is that? Great military time, 5 o'clock. I guess the peak point here was at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Thanks, Matt. No problem. AMC to 5K. Yep, soon. Here we go. AMC strong. Yes. We have 230 people watching. Thank you guys for watching, for being a part of this community. I appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Again, I've noticed that, I have over 80% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. And I guess some people just watch and you know, they just don't want to subscribe to anything. But if you can hit that subscribe button, it does help out. It was called Zuga Coin. I commented on all your videos yesterday, but my comments got deleted. I DM'd you about it. Yeah, I don't know. Did you say something like because I have certain like words that I take out from comments, I guess. If you say those words, then they get taken out. So it shouldn't be anything with, I don't know. I would have to check them. But is it a good coin? Is it a legit coin? Yeah, that is another coin. It looks like, I don't know why it doesn't have that. Holy crap. How much? It has 1 million max supply. How the hell did it get up to that point? And how in the hell did it not sell off? Is there like one coin available? Like what the fuck is going on here? Because if you see any increase like that, an increase from $40 or whatever, $40 or $50, all the way up to a level of $87,000, you're telling me that not one coin would sell off? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like when anytime you see a rip, it's followed by a dip because people sell the position. If I was holding 10 down here, if you're holding 10 down here and this gets to $200,000, you now have close to $2 million, right? I know it's a trap. Um, I'm not getting into it, but what I'm saying is that it didn't sell off. Like I understand that it could be a trap right now, and the way that it's going to fall, eventually it's going to fall, and it's going to fall hard. But what I'm saying is that anybody that bought into this should have sold. Do you know what I mean? Like this is the biggest pump and dump I've ever seen. And anytime you have a rip, it's followed by a dip. The fact that we've seen rips, consolidation, rip, a little bit of a dip and consolidation makes no freaking sense to me. This is at 157 and it dipped down to 145 and now has increased up to 168. Again, makes no sense whatsoever, but like I don't understand it. How many coins were available at this point? How many coins are actually in circulation right now? Because it's showing circulating supply of 0 or nothing, or you can't really determine it. And then you have a max supply of 1 million. Once you actually bring out this supply, maybe it only has like, I don't know, 10,000 that are out there, but we don't know yet. Right now, I would say the 1 million supply, once that does get implemented, everything falls into place. This is going to crash hard. But right now, I'm a little bit and a lot of bit pissed. Because it's something that I don't see. Is it under the what type of coin is it? Tokens? What would we be listed under? We look for circulate. Oh, you can't do it by circulating supply because it would come back as 0. See, that's why. Anything that does have a circulating supply comes up, but if that comes back as 0, I was going to say, how did I not freaking see that? With a 1 million dollar circulating supply of 0.000. Yeah, a lot of times I'll look through a lot of this stuff and find a low circulating supply. But that just like pisses me off because it's a coin that has jumped however many, you know, thousands of dollars. I've learned enough that when AMC moving with my momentum, legit my entire portfolio tanks and bleeds. Yeah, it's a heavy scam, and I got a wide-eyed when I saw it and didn't look into it before I commented. Apparently, you can't sell it. Oh, you can't sell it. You can only hold it. That doesn't make sense. Well, I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time. Let me go back to this and let me see what market you can pancake swap it. You can't sell it, but you can swap it. So you should still be able to swap it if you wanted to. So get BNB off of it. That's interesting. Those type of things always interest me. But again, up to $100,000. It's another coin that has gotten there. Wow, it looks like crypto is really decreasing for me. You know, you got it looks like Harvest Coin is still standing strong though, but others are actually decreasing quite a bit. Like Clover Finance has decreased down to $1.52. I think the lowest point that has been is about $1. So GME is now positive. It's up 0.2%. And AMC is up about 1.7%, close to 2%. Do you have a first sell price point for AMC? Like I'll sell 10 shares here, but nothing before kind of price. Um, so yes, I have multiple points to where I'm going to pull bits and pieces out just in case we have some form of FOMO resistance. You know what I mean? And I know that 100 was already a point for AMC. To see it at $80 was already a point. I do want to pull out of some at 100, a little bit over $100, and then end up seeing a little bit of a resistance. I think at like 120 is where we're going to probably see some of that, and pull back just a little bit, and then probably put that back in there so that I can have more for the peak point. But I do have points of resistance well above that. So somewhere around, $500, 600, 1,000, stuff like that. So yeah, for sure I have different points, but I'm not going to give you those exact points because I want everybody to come up with their own points that they feel is the best time to take any type of profit. Because what I'm saying is, when you look at this as a whole, and sorry, I got distracted by some of these. What was I saying about the price points? Oh, geez, lost my train of thought. It happens. I'll remember. I'll remember. No sell, only buy. No, I mean you have to find points to where you sell. So basically, what I'm saying is like if you if you come up with these sell points by yourself, then you're going to feel more comfortable with every time I do it. I always read a comment and then I just get sidetracked by my ridiculous. Also, I have Twitch, but every time if you choose to sell, it's going to be easy for you to do it the next time. You're gonna have more confidence going into it the next time and building a strategy and selling and all of that other stuff. So if you copy my strategy and where I plan to make my moves at and the logic behind why I do it, then you're not going to be able to come up with that the next time. So if you do have something to where you feel is going to increase quite a bit, you're going to look just to me in order to find the best time to make your move out of there. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I was getting at. And I know I keep going and reading comments as I'm talking, and it's a form of like trying to multitask, but multitasking doesn't exist. You're just distracting yourself. I hate that so much, but I do it all the time. I think it's happened to me on live stream probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. Yeah, it's because I want to answer the other questions. Yes, you're right. Just establish a small position in Clover. Gonna wait until it gets back near $1 to really go in. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I think Clover at $1 or so and only having millions. I think it's like 128 million supply out there. It does have a max supply of 1 billion, but 128 million supply does give you that ability to go up to a pretty high number. I would say comparable to ICP, right? You can get that up to $40. You can get that up to $100 right now, and you can get that up into the thousands if you wanted to. But once you see the max supply kick in, then you start to factor in like, oh well, what's the highest price that it could possibly get to on average? The average, if you were looking at maybe $10 billion market cap, you could see about $10 there. Now the highest point, if it gets to $100 billion, and it will get to $100, which if you have 1,000, right, you're making a decent amount of money out of it, and that's how much I have. So I'm looking for a large increase in Clover, but it's going to take a little bit of time. And if they don't bring in all of the supply, then it brings that potential up a lot higher, into the thousands. Do you think it'll go past 500? What will go past 500? Will it rise or dip today? You're talking about AMC? By the time you throw in the loss plus the tax, and if you want to buy back in, you pay that token tax again, so it gets hodled. Do you think it'll go past 500? I do want to know what you're talking about there. You're talking about AMC. AMC will go past 500. What are you comfortable with? Yep. Waiting for farm to get back to 200. Going to get more. Yeah, so am I. If that goes back to 200, I'm definitely getting more. If it goes up to 350, I'm probably gonna pull out of the 4 that I bought, and then use that when it goes back to a lower point. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up breaking that level and get up to 400 before it comes back a little bit. But I want to buy more, but I don't want to spend any more. Does that make sense? Could you look at Lithium Finance? I personally think it's an awesome project, and I'd like to know your thoughts. If you're talking about like usability or any type of use case behind it, I probably won't be able to give you those thoughts, but I can give you the thoughts on the potential if that is a thing here. Is this it? Please tell me if this is it. I don't know. I don't know if this is it. It just says lithium. So Tyler, let me know if that's it. I'm going to throw some plants in and move to the United States, and they're going to be a great investment. The same thing, only buy, never sell. Approaching $38 AMC. Yes, it's making a move. I believe it was up 2% the last time I looked at it. Do you look into impulse slash impulse wave slash Elliott wave theory? Not really. Never heard of it, but I can always look into it now. I'll look into that in just a little bit. Yeah, I'll look into that in just a little bit. Let me go through some more. I need help with MMAT. I now have 500 shares. I averaged down from $8 to $3.98. What would you do? MMAT. I know that was that merger, right? Currently that's sitting at $2.94. It's up 1%. It was down 4.5% or 4.6% yesterday. Now, if we look at the full view of where this has gone, it did end up, having a massive increase. I believe that was because of the whole merger and everything, right? Basically with the dividend and everything like that. I'm not 100% familiar with exactly what did happen, but we did see a large decrease back down to previous levels. Just know that we're starting to approach some of these previous lows, and don't get afraid if it does absolutely approach these lows, and it may end up resisting off of some of these, or have a support level off of some of these. So what I would do if you're sitting at $3.98, it looks like you might see some levels of resistance above there. So you might see it push up eventually, and at some of these low levels, it just may take some time. If you have 500 shares, if you're not comfortable with holding those 500 shares, then make a move out of there, right? But especially when it comes back. But I think you can actually get above that $3.98 mark. Just looking at the chart, looking at the history, it's showing that it does have strength above there. Now, previously, it did not have strength. It was showing that it was strong around 50 cents. But you did see a larger increase around that January timeframe when everything was increasing. So this is kind of like, I guess, bias. And then you've seen that decrease as you got to March, which March was a bad month for a lot of positions. Did decrease all the way down to about $2.55, close to where the low is here. And after increasing up, seeing that large jump, I don't think this is reasonable. Anything above this point is really reasonable. I think somewhere around this $13 point eventually is reasonable. But I think if you want a short-term gain out of that and you hold 500 shares, you can gain about $500 out of it from your $3.90 mark to get to about $4.90. That's what I'm thinking. Or you can just accept the break even and go from there. But I think you can actually see a little bit more. Just understand where the resistance point will be. You could possibly see a resistance point a little bit before that at about 450. So just be aware of that. But that's what I would do. And it's not financial advice. Waiting for the next farm spike to sell and then rebuy the dip. That's what I'm looking for. Anyone need a TV? I don't. You like tacos? I do like tacos. Oh, just curious. No need to look into it. No, I need to look into it. If it's something that applies to any situation that we're in, I would love to look into it. Guys, we have 280 people here right now. If you guys could hit the like button, that would be amazing. It's basically psychology plus math. Long-term hold. Yeah, it looks like it's more of a longer term as you look at that, because I think it does hold strength above these levels, but right now it's just hitting a I don't think it's a true long-term hold like over a year, if you were holding from back here, you could possibly hold for a year because it might be like 6 months or so. But you can definitely see a $500,000 gain. Um, let's see. Good morning. Anyone hear anything about BTDG? No. I'm long on CHPT. Wait, yeah. Dyslexic, I guess, because I thought I said that wrong. See quants run up. I did see it a little bit. I'm still holding it, so yes. Is it time to buy SOS at these prices? Where is SOS? Because SOS is like tricky. Once you see, crypto take off, that's where you start to see SOS make their moves. Now, SOS is something that I look at and just go, what the heck is actually going on with this? Because it does show strength, above certain points, and it has gotten to higher and higher points before. I'm holding about 2,000 shares of SOS, and I'm letting it sit there waiting for this to actually take off and just make some moves. And I'm holding at $3.90 or $3.80. I don't really know exactly what it is. Let me go ahead and check it. Holding at $3.96. So do I think it's a buy at this point? Yeah, I'm holding about 2,000 shares. So anything that I buy on a smaller scale really wouldn't affect the price. So I'm just waiting for this to make a larger move up and actually increase to some of these higher levels, some of these higher touch points, because it could even drop down to some of these previous lows, and I'll be comfortable with it. I'll still hold on to it. That's about, I think, I don't even know how much that's got to be like what, $7,000, $8,000 that I put into it. So I'm looking to gain. I was looking to gain about $2,000, basically move a dollar, but it didn't make that move after hitting some of these lows. And now I'm looking to gain possibly $10,000, move about $5 or so. But we'll see. I mean, I could accept half of that. What do you think about the burn wallets? I haven't seen anything on them. They're saying it sends Doge into 100 plus per coin. I don't know if it will send Doge into 100 plus per coin. If you can burn Doge at a scale of more than what they're bringing in, because they're bringing in 5.2 billion. I'll have to look into it. Then yes, I mean, it could possibly do that, but you would have to burn it at the same rate, which means that a lot of people would have to have those burn wallets in order to do it. And you could send it to however much per coin, and it would be amazing. But that's a strong if. What price did you last buy into farm? Approximately 280 myself. Last price I bought into was just yesterday at 250 something, 253. I would definitely look into SOS calls. Too old for this stuff now. I gotta stop drinking again. It feels super rough this morning. Yeah, I hear you. I actually haven't drank like beer or anything in quite some time. We went on vacation, and typically we bring like some beers with us and just relax after the kids go to sleep. We just relax. But funny thing is, we went to sleep probably an hour after they went to sleep. It's like we're getting old. So I don't know. Appreciate the info. No problem. No problemo. We got about 30 minutes to this stream, and then we're gonna. That's the correct lithium finance. Okay, perfect. Took a little bit. Right now we have about 559 million in supply, which is pretty high. It does show that you can get to higher and higher numbers where it is at. I don't know what markets it's actually trading on. Let's check the markets first. You can trade it on KuCoin. You can swap it on Uniswap, 1inch exchange. So there's not really a lot of places that you can actually swap it or buy it from. That's sort of a concern when it comes to the price increase, and probably adding on more supply as the days go on. The total supply is around 10 billion. That's not crazy. That's basically saying that at a max point, getting up to $100 billion market cap, that would be about $10. So I would probably put it somewhere in the 10% range of that. So instead of $10, I would probably put it somewhere around $1 to $2. Of a range for it to get to, maybe 60 cents to $2. That would be that full range. So seeing it at $3 or 3 cents is not bad at all. Once it does get offered, if it does get offered on different exchanges, as you start to look at it, you can actually gain a lot from that. So if you can buy it on KuCoin, or you can swap it on KuCoin, you can actually get a decent amount of coins from it. And you can turn that, like you can buy maybe 1,000 coins, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 coins. And then when it does reach $1, if it, ends up going on to a major exchange sooner rather than later, it can reach $1, $2, $3, $10, fairly quickly. But then if you're offering that supply, depending how you're offering that supply, you might see that max price point start to decrease, so I think it's interesting. It's very interesting to see some of these plays, and this is why I like a lot of these plays, because you can put maybe $200 in there or $300 in there and get about 3,000 coins from it. Is that accurate to say? So yeah, let's just add it to the watch list and see what can happen. I have KuCoin. And if you can take $100, $300 or so and put it in some areas before it ends up getting listed, that's good. Like I said, I have Pi Coin, and that has made a move for me. Oh, wait, let me actually go here and see it. It's on gate.io. Let me log in. They have to make it difficult. Always log me out after like 2 days. Oh, come on. Oh, you know what? I think I have a sponsorship that wanted to reach out to me. Let me. I have to check that after I get out of here. All right, let me see. Yeah. So like I bought Pi Coin, which is a different Pi Coin than what people are used to. It's PI. And it looks like a crown symbol. Let me actually bring this up here. PI. Yeah, Pi Coin. This is the one that I ended up buying plain. And I put my money into it at 0.007 cents. And now I'm sitting at 200. I only put $200 in there, and now I'm sitting at about $268. I have about 28,000 coins, and that I believe can get to higher and higher numbers, and eventually I can transfer that over to wherever I want to. And if it gets to, let's say, if it does end up making a move to $1 eventually, then that will give me quite a bit of cash there to play around with and put into different areas. So yeah. So I'm waiting for that to make a solid move. It made a move all the way up to 5 cents in April. And now it's starting to make a move again. And once it starts to get offered on other platforms, right now it's only on gate.io and, Binance, DEX, BitThumb, those areas. Once it starts to get offered on other exchanges, then you start to, see some large movement there. But right now you're seeing low volume. Eventually you'll see a lot higher volume as time goes on. So I should have probably bought maybe a 100,000 coins. That would have been phenomenal and let that sit there. Shorters seem to be trying hard to keep AMC under $38 mark. Do you think there are a lot of calls that in the money at that point? Probably. That's usually what they're looking to do. They've noticed that a lot of people have been making money off of AMC options and options in general. And some people now are making money off of puts, but now they're making money off of puts, but then they're putting it in AMC. As it's going down. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy that they're doing it the opposite way, but still putting the money into AMC shares after they make some. So that's always interesting. But yeah, a lot of people are making money off of call options, and I would imagine that's the case. I don't really know how to check the amount of call options that would be in the money at certain levels. I tried to do that before and it just didn't come back as accurate numbers. So I don't know. But yes, I do believe that. On any position you take, is there a specific percentage gain you look for before you sell? It's usually a dollar gain. I don't ever go by percentage just to make it simple to explain. And uh, you know, I mean, that's the main point is when I am explaining it to a lot of people and saying what my thought process is, it's always to a dollar mark. Yes, you can break it down by percentage. Um, but ultimately it's usually over 100% from where it is. For a lot of trading, like day trading positions, it's usually by the dollar mark. So if it's $1 and the price is 100, I don't care what the price is at that point. That would be a 1% gain. I only want it to go up 1% for me to gain $100 out of it because I'm going to buy 100 shares, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dollar gain so I can multiply it by the shares, and then I'll know how much I actually gain out of it. What's my max gain? What's my max gain? What's my potential gain? What's my realistic gain? All of that stuff. So a lot of times I'm going by the dollar figure of it. So let me see if I can apply this anywhere. If I am looking at something like uh, Harvest Finance, right? I'm looking for a dollar gain rather than anything else. So if I see this, $2,000 price, I multiply it by my 17 coins, and then obviously that's what I'm looking for as a max gain. Now this is a long-term gain, and I'm looking for way more than that with Harvest Finance. But I am looking for resistance points so that I can buy in lower, if that makes a lot of sense to anybody. Same thing with Internet Computer, same thing with Clover, same thing with all of these. I'm looking for a dollar gain rather than a percentage gain. I could care less about these percentages because most of these, I want these to go over 100% anyways. So now if it's a smaller gain where I'm like, all right, I want it to gain 10%. If it gains 10%, I can gain a lot out of it. Then yes, but most crypto, like I said, I'm looking for it to grow 100% at least. Come on, big shout out from London town. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Elevator going up. Let's see what's happening with AMC right now. AMC currently is at 1.13% up, about point 42 cents. Well, I guess sorry, 42 cents. Lots of money being made off of calls, yes. But I think they're actually trying to prevent a gamma squeeze because we know where that could lead. Yes, of course. Gamma squeeze price is above 40, depending on the number of contracts. Gamma squeezes are free and are the best. What's my thoughts on Solano? I did already give my thoughts on Solano. Um, I believe we might. My thought is that we might see a pullback before 100, somewhere around that 80. It might be a strong 80 mark, but it's looking like it's holding at 76 or so, 75, 76, and that might end up decreasing, not heavily, but you'll see a nice retracement, a nice pullback. You thought Clover is at a good entry point? Do I think Clover is at a good entry point today? Well, my entry point is 170, $1.70. So yes, for the long term aspect of it, and when I say long term, it could be a couple of months, not a year or so. It could be a year, but it's going to take its time. Do I think it's at a good price point now? Yes. Do I think you should put everything into it that you were going to put into it? Probably not. Because you can find maybe a little bit of a lower point. You can possibly see it pull back again. Who really knows? But I do think it's at a good point, especially for the growth that I think it's going to have in the next couple of months. And even if you see it go to $100, $200, $300, that's going to be huge if you have 1,000 coins. And I have 1,000 coins, so getting to $100 would mean that I gain $100,000 out of that. And I would be quick to just accept that. I understand it can go a lot higher, but I would be quick to accept probably somewhere around, I don't know, 70% of that, and then leave about 30% in there. So leave about 300 coins in there and sell about 700 coins. And that'll be good for me. I'll be happy with that. To gain about $70,000 from one investment of $1,000. Looking to get in and out for a quick gain. Coins are down a little bit in the last couple of days. Yeah, yesterday it was down a little bit. It was green early in the morning and then started to fall. Need another AMC green today. Yes. So tempted. Let me see. Looking to get in and out for a quick gain. Why am I doing that? Oh, it's a stock. So it was up 65% yesterday. Let's see. Jesus, this is ridiculous. That movement is insane. Let's look at the last 5 days just to break that down. So yeah, it went from $4.12, did increase a hell of a lot yesterday to close at $15.35, up 265%. And now is up another $15, which is up another 100%. If you're looking to get in and get out for a quick gain, this might just run right from the gate. Because it has pulled back and started to run a little bit towards the end of the pre-market. Just understand what the movement is. If you're seeing it start to run towards the end of the pre-market, you might see a continuation of that, but know that you want to set your stop loss. So this is how I would play it. And what you could do is taking it and go, all right, I'm going to buy in right in the beginning of the day. If it goes against me by, whatever my loss rate is, then you have a profit to loss ratio, whatever your loss ratio actually is, then set that. And if it does hit that, then you end up getting stopped out. Find another entry point and then make a move again. But this could, run away. It looks like it's running away for some freaking reason. But this is insane growth. And if you had anything in this position, if you bought $1,000 worth, and that's making a move up to where it closed yesterday, you made quite a bit of money from it. Or let's say you even bought, 1,000 shares, 2,000 shares, 3,000 shares. I mean, you're making quite a bit of money from that. But like I said, it could run away. My thought is that you buy into it, or I would buy into it, and see if it does run away again. If it does run away, you find a resistance point and then you sell. If it doesn't run away, then you end up selling at a small loss. You always limit your loss potential. I would short it. Such an obscure stock. There's no options. Absolutely. Chasing is super risky. That's why you always set, if you're going to chase, I mean, if you ever wanted to chase, and I know chasing is very, very risky. I never like to chase, but I know how to play a chase. A lot of times when I see any type of chase, I will sell it for a minimal loss with the potential to gain a lot out of it. So I've had chases that have gone my way and I've gained, $1,000 plus from it. But I've also had chases that have gone against me and I've lost $50. But I will gladly lose $50 with the potential to gain, $500 to $1,000, right? I think she goes to 45 or 50. It runs on good news from FDA. I'm so afraid to set limit buys or sell orders anymore, knowing how hedges front us. Yeah, I mean, that's only on like heavily manipulated stocks, right? So yeah, you will get, a lot of times it will end up pulling back and sell you out, but that's a good thing. I mean, if it does sell you out and it pulls back, then it pulls back, and then you find the next level that you can actually get in and move up. Because what's crazy is in the morning you never know what's going to happen. It could pull back, it could go up, it could skyrocket, whatever. That's where it's iffy. So if you get in with any position that you believe it's gonna take place, whatever is gonna happen, then you can make that move on the way up and watch that run while you're holding it. Or you could, buy into it here and get stopped out, which would be a good thing if it does end up tanking all the way back down. Because what you don't want to do is buy into the position and then, don't set a stop loss. And then it ends up tanking and keeps tanking and goes down to a level of previous levels. You don't want that. Trust me, I know how tempted it is to just hold on to the position, but let the system do the work, or you have to be really strong and just sell really quick. So that would be my opinion. I don't want to push anything on you and say you have to buy it or anything like that, but do whatever you feel is right. But just don't hold on to a dying position. Currently up $700 on my call contract for Solana. That's awesome. I thought I was chasing when I got in with 1,000 shares at $7. I got out at 18. Either way, I mean, you made a bunch from it. And that's great that you did get out at 18. Even though it ran up, you made a ton from it. You can't be mad about where you got out at. I will never be mad about where I got out at, unless it's GME. But that's my problem. Made a call contract at mid $75. The hedge funds are letting us have a green day, letting us think it's going to run. I mean, I don't think they have this much control over it. I know they have control over what the stock can do, but I don't think they have this much control over it. I think they're trying to get ready, get set for them to probably push us down even more. I mean, it's slow growth when it should be fast growth. Sold GME a while back when when I first got into it. Yeah, it was supposed to be a day trade for me in February. Yeah, February. It was supposed to be a day trade for me in February, and I was supposed to take a lot of that the profits and the money and put it in someplace else, and I was going to put it into AMC, which I ended up doing, and that's why I pulled out of GME at I think it was 40, 46. That was a while ago, to put into AMC. And I put more in there, and I missed the run up of GME. Had AMC, but I missed the run up of GME from 46 to 200. So I had 100 shares of the GME at 40 at $76. It decreased down to 46. And I sold it somewhere around like 50 something. So, and put it into AMC. So that was my mistake way back then. I did have my thought process, and I have my strategy, and I stuck by my strategy. But it sucks knowing that you can't really predict exactly what's happening, and that's what made me understand what I was dealing with and how unpredictable it actually is. Sold some AMC before I understood the movement. Hanks head, but made money and bought it all back over time. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, I found a way to make up that, because AMC has already made me close to $23,000. So that $2,000 loss or $3,000 loss, I made up some of that with the Tesla trade, and then because I was going to use that to day trade and then put the money into AMC as at the lows, and I did. That's how I lowered my cost basis from originally, I think it was $11 down to, no, it was $12 down to about $9, because I lowered my cost basis quite a bit when it was down in the $5, $6 range. I would have loved to have bought up everything at those levels, but yeah. Remember, your merch says profit hands, not diamond hands. Profit is always good. Yes, it is always good. Can you buy back in with 10 shares? I don't want to be the only bag holder here. For GME, yeah, I still have, I bought back in. So I have about 20 shares now. I am down quite a bit. I'm at 20 shares at $220. So I was sitting on that. I was waiting for that to get to 100 before I bought in more, but I don't have any free cash in Webull anyways. So I'm sitting on that. But I still have my 900 shares of AMC and 20 shares of GME. So I'm good. Oh shoot, you're wearing it right now. Yes, I am. Your wife's boyfriend told me sell, and he let me have a go with her. What? That's messed up. For AMC, the move they utilize borrowed shares to short closer when they take off. Yes, I've seen that. Why throw away money on GME rather than put it into AMC? Makes zero sense. rather than put it into AMC. So, no, I think GME is gonna make some moves as well, some solid moves, and I want to have some. I got a baby up there making noise. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is AMC and GME are gonna move. I think AMC is gonna move a little bit more, but GME will make that move up into the thousands or so, and we'll see how that plays out. But I have about 20, so I can probably gain somewhere around $20,000, $40,000 from it. I think it can go even higher than that. It just depends. I mean, there's not a ton of news that's happening with GME, but it's not only about the news. AMC is just in the news because that's affecting the hedge funds maybe a little bit more. Kids are up and about again this morning. So funny hearing them playing in the background. Yeah. Yeah, Hayden's just upstairs. She just probably doesn't want to eat her food. That's just how it goes. But Harper just jumps up and down, like nothing but jumping. Or seriously, I thought your baby was my baby and I ran into the bedroom. Sorry. Thoughts on Safe Moon? I'm still holding Safe Moon, but it's not anything that I think is going to do anything right now. It has a burn rate, and uh, whenever that burn rate actually, you know, comes into effect, because right now it's not, the burn rate is not burning off enough coins. There's not enough volume going into Safe Moon. People are not selling it. They're holding on to it. You have a lot of people that have billions of shares or billions of coins, and they're just sitting on them. I have millions of coins and I'm sitting on mine. And they said that the burn rate that they're going to have, eventually people are going to sell their coins. And if you're the last one standing, I don't care about that $200 that I invested into Safe Moon, and I'm going to let it sit there. I don't think it can get to a dollar. I know it can get to 1 penny if a lot gets burned off. And if it does, then that's hundreds of thousands of dollars for me. But if it does get to multiple pennies, it gets to 20 cents or it gets to a dollar, then that's $28 million. But I don't know if it will ever make that move up to those levels. So I'll hold on to it for a long, long time. And if it goes to a zero, absolutely zero, and I don't have anything, then it's whatever. So again, I'm sitting on it, and I think the max that they want to decrease it to is like 25 trillion, which can give it that possibility of getting to a penny, or getting to 2 pennies. Max, I think probably somewhere around 5 cents, but it's still iffy. People are selling Safe Moon, a lot of it too. I didn't see a lot of volume go through, because the last time I checked, if I was looking at, and I haven't looked at it in maybe uh, a few weeks, like 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm still sitting on my Safe Moon, and it's still showing that you have 585 trillion coins. If that gets down to 25 trillion or 1 trillion, then you start seeing um, massive growth in the stock price, or sorry, in the price itself. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not buying any more. I'm comfortable with holding on to 28 million coins, and I'll just let it sit there. I'm also holding something. I'm holding Tiki token. I'm holding some other tokens that are not, I don't know how else to, like, not traded on major exchanges. You can get SafeMoon on Gate.io. I should probably transfer it over there. No, I have it on my Trust wallet, so I just want to be able to, yeah, I should probably transfer it. And you know what? Maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I will, because it'll be on an exchange that I can easily, transfer. I can easily change over if I wanted to. So I can go from USDT to SafeMoon rather than going from uh, SafeMoon to KuCoin and then changing it to USDT and all that other stuff. I can keep it on that exchange. Volume will increase with a product release. Doesn't help that SafeMoon part of marketing team did a rug pull and stole about 5 million worth of people's money. It's all over Twitter and YouTube. Yeah, I mean it happens. I mean, there are winners and there are losers in the markets, and that's just how it goes. I mean, I hate rug pulls, but I mean, some people just do it. All right, guys. I have to get out of here. Sorry if I couldn't answer your questions. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you are not subscribed and you're one of those people, we got 285 people in here. There's a possibility that there are some people that are watching that are not subscribed. If you guys are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It allows you to comment in the chats as long as we're below like that 400 concurrent viewer mark. I'll keep it to, subscribers only. And, if we see any spam in there, then obviously we have some moderators and stuff, and I appreciate you guys for being moderators. I know you guys don't get paid, but I appreciate you. And we don't really have too many people to kick out nowadays. But guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out some of my other channels. I'm uploading on there. I'm trying to do something more consistent. I do want to find a way to like hire an editor so they can edit everything, because what I want to do is literally everything like under the sun. I want to do like reaction videos, like as a whole. I want to do my main channel. I want to have a gaming channel. I want to have a podcast channel. I also love to golf, so I would love to be able to record that and monetize it and all of that other stuff. There's just a lot of stuff I want to do. If you guys want to follow all of that, go to my channel and check out associated channels and you'll find everything that I'm associated with. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get out of here and I'll catch you in the next video.